Hello everyone, good evening, I hope you're well. Welcome back to another live stream. I'm especially happy this evening because Charlie's coming home. Well, not just that, she's just been away for a couple of days, that's all. Not just that, the sun is low. It means I can see my screen properly for the first time in at least the last couple of live streams. I've been like squinting because trying to make out the screen with the sun, the brightness. I've had my coffee a little bit too late and it's got the better of me. I've just finished watching Liege, Bastogne Liege, the men's race. Oh my word. Not so much the winner, but the race behind just had me on edge and I've really enjoyed it. No spoilers here. I want to watch a women's race later, maybe. And I've been planning some routes for Mallorca. And I'm just looking forward to going back. So, yes indeed, I'm in a good mood. Yes, I did have a bit of a hard day yesterday. Yeah, that is correct. 175 kilometer endurance ride, coupled with 4 Zwift Insider tiny races. Hey, thanks for joining. Hello from Wales. Yes, so I was a little bit. It was nearly 300 TSS yesterday, but not just that. It was nearly 5,000 kilojoules of work in total on the bike. So, coupled with obviously just day-to-day calorie expenditure, yesterday was a fairly hard day. Well, it wasn't fairly hard. It was hard. I had a good night's sleep, although my my HRV was down, my resting heart rate was up this morning, which is generally not a good thing, but it's not like a massive shift. So I actually feel okay. I've taken an easy day up until now. Not doing much at all other than going and picking up some Sunday lunch for my 95-year-old grandfather. And eating that with him, which I know melts a lot of yours hearts. So yeah, I think the key was getting on the bike just now and just spinning my legs a little bit, even if it is 29 watts. It's better than nothing. So yeah, here we are. Good evening, we're doing well. Thank you, hope you're well. 38 of you here so far. Thank you for joining. We're not quite ready to go yet, give us a couple of minutes and the race will be kicking off. Just had a couple of Instagram messages back and forth with lads who I'm helping out with a little bit of guidance when it comes to well, he's doing 12 Everests this year. One a month is the idea, right? So yesterday he did one on Duke's Pass, which is up in Scotland, and that's the 4th one of the year. And the ride was, let's give you some details here because it's pretty, this is up to filth, okay? So 248 kilometers, average speed 17.2, 7,753 kilojoules, normalized power 191 watts, 648 TSS, and obviously climbed at Everest. So yeah, God. Kind of puts into perspective, you know, when you like just jump on the bike for a 30-minute race. Although tonight is going to be a little bit longer than that, but yeah, puts into perspective, right? Yeah, in real life Everest. I still have ambition to do a Zwift Everest. I'm just curious because obviously Zwift speed is a little bit different to real world speed. I'm just curious how fast I could do an Everest indoors. I wouldn't know if I would live stream that or if I would just make a video about it, or maybe both. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. Hang on, I've got an unread message on Discord. 1 second. Just looking here at some folks. Okay. All right then. There we go, folks. Now it might take me a while to get into this. In terms of like how I feel, like it's gonna be a little bit, take a little bit of a while to find my legs, but hopefully we should be alright. So we should be alright. Ian's in here tonight, fellow backpedaler. You'll be able to see him in the jersey. Sorry Ian, I've not got Discord set up. My headset was out of charge, and yeah. Wonderful. Thank you, Jesse. Another day, my nightly's got me to the point I'm like a cell. I've got to formulate a plot. We're at the jail. The shot success is my only option. Failure's not. I cannot grow all this animal's lots. So you want to go, it's my shot. If you fail me not, this may be the only opportunity that I got. It's my karaoke song. Alright. Ooh, yeah, look, my legs are a bit sore. Oh, there's Ian. Yeah, you're right. To be fair, I think I've lucked out with the route here, because if this was like the last chasing race we did, where we did Utopia figure 8, I think I'd be in trouble with the type of effort. This one maybe, yeah, it'll be a little bit kinder on the legs. You've got a bit more of a chance to form a group or draft, and you don't always have to make an effort, like, whereas when you've got significant climbs you do have to make the effort, like there's no way around it. So this race should be around 75 minutes, I think. Anyone who's raced this already, how did it go? That sounds grim. Funny you mentioned that about your knees, because in the UK recently, well, last couple of days, we've had some really nice weather, but people are already like not wearing leg warmers or tights, and you know, when it's still actually quite cold. It's nice weather, but it's just cold. That's something I've never done really, unless I'm racing. I always keep my legs covered. That's why I'm so pale. Good evening. Good evening all. Yeah, that is why my trainer difficulty is set to around 25%. Hey, good evening, Daz. Well, that depends, Jesse. If green feels like red, and red feels like black. So yeah, I think it's about 15 minutes a lap, isn't it? Roughly. So oh, you'll have to wait for the vlog. Find out what I have for food. It was actually 2 burgers and homemade VC potatoes, which essentially is just like potatoes done in the oven, all crispy and partly cooked. And yeah, I was going to buy chips, but I thought, no, I'll be reasonably sensible. And I'll do my own chips. But Charlie's been away the last 2 nights anyway. She wasn't here, so I had to eat her food. Her portion. No, I didn't use nutritional yeast. No, we didn't have any. I did my version. My version. At 119, oh there we go, yeah. No, I did. No, I didn't do 175k. I've had a very easy day in comparison. Hopefully in Mallorca, I mean that's what my mind is fixed on at the minute, I'll be able to do back-to-back days with hard effort, so that's the idea. And no kale was consumed. In fact, I didn't eat any vegetables. Well, apart from potatoes. Last night. Nutrition is a nightmare. Yeah, crispy kale is nice actually, yeah. I do apologise if it gets dark in here. I didn't factor that in. A little bit. I've had a little bit of knee pain throughout my career, but only through injury, as in like an impact to it, not like an overuse injury, not like an injury that's just come out of nowhere. Well, I used to have disco lights, remember? But when I got rid of that desk, the lights are attached to it, so I need more lights. It could just be an overload thing. If you took a break and then you came back and you just sort of came back into it as if nothing had changed, then it might just be the fact that you've just like restarted, but there could be so many reasons, you know. I can't really comment on it. Hey, thanks for subscribing. The bike I have on my turbo trainer is my old Tifosi bike. It's not any factor bike. $45k solo. No, I know, Rob. I mean, the thing is with those sports, rugby, American football, soccer, whatever, like, it's all those different forces and everything that apply to the knee. The changes of direction, the accelerating, decelerating, and the mileage as well. Like, if you're running and the impact and everything like that, yeah, I mean, cycling is often prescribed as rehab for injuries like that, isn't it? Only downside to cycling really is if you do too much of it. Well, the thing is, Daniel, before you go ahead and replace your whole bike or upgrade your bike, I mean, it could be that you need a new chain. It could be that the chain and cassette aren't compatible. It could be that one of them is worn. It could be that your gears aren't indexed properly. Could be the bike's not on the turbo trainer properly, like straight. Yeah, it could be that if you've got mechanical gears, not, you know, you say you've got Tickr, so mechanical, it could be that the gear cable is stretched, and it's causing your gears to jump or slip or not sit properly. So there's numerous reasons that you know, it's not a simple like diagnosis. I mean, actually, hang on, let's get a little break in the effort here. I need to explain to you what setup I've got here. As you say, virtual shifting could well be a cost-effective answer. I mean, my gear system is not indexed very well at all, and it doesn't sound, to you it might sound smooth, but it's definitely not smooth.
Yeah, exactly that, Jack, exactly that. So, like we say, like, could be a variety of things, but I actually have an Tickr 10-speed setup and mechanical. Now, the cassette is actually an 11-speed, and so I'm missing one gear, but I can modify which gear I miss by indexing it, of course. It runs okay, but it's not as smooth as it could be. Also, this chain has done many kilometers. It did a lot of kilometers on the road before I even put it on the turbo. So, like, it's still fairly smooth, even though the chain has got a lot of kilometers on it. And of course, indoor kilometers slightly different to outdoor, but you know, pedal revolutions, it's the same thing. So it's still got general wear and tear. Is that your indoor bike now? Indoor chain rather, whatever you want to call it. I have to replace my chain about every 2 months or so, generally, given the wear and tear. It's why I always rotate between chains out on the road, and I also only use cheap chains, well, the cheapest chains, and save the best chains for races and things like that. I think you have to in this day and age. The price of some things. How do I know the chain needs replacing? You measure it. You measure it essentially. But I know now, you know, after I ride my bike so much, I know when the chain starts to go. First of all, visually you can see the chain starting to lose its tension. But also sometimes the shifting can start being a little bit weird. And that's another, so yeah, but essentially, like, I have ridden chains, like, you know, Battle on the Beach a couple of weeks ago. So that chain on there was really worn. I still did the event on it. Shifting was kind of okay, but there was no point replacing that chain because, you know, we were going to ride in a load of sand and that would have ruined the new chain. So, yeah. But I mean, that's the thing, you know, it all depends on where you ride, how often you clean your components as well, and things like that, and, you know, lubrications, and, you know, there's lots of course, you also have to think about wear and tear on other components as well. So if I change my chain regularly, then that'll prevent wear and tear on other components as well. So sometimes it can be cost effective doing it that way, but generally I spend less money on my bike in the summer than I do in the winter, because at the end of the day there's less wear and tear on it in the summer, so thankfully I can save a bit of money. I don't get, like, through my sponsorship with Verez Velo, I wax my chain, but not with a wax, what's it called? not with a pot. I wax. I wax with a bottle because I don't have the facilities. Hey Ewan, thanks for subscribing. But yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't, things like chains, things that, yeah, deep wax, this one, drip wax. Chains, you know, things that general wear and tear, like I buy all those things myself. I don't have a tyre sponsor or anything like that because I like to use different tyres, but if anything major was to go wrong, you know, touch wood, like a battery dies or something or anything like that, then, you know, they can help me out maybe. But yeah, wear and tear, you're always looking. You should have used a steamroller power up, Ewan. You would have gone straight through that shed. Alright, I won't tell any jokes. Oh, back in the day when they only used to cost 75 quid. Did you see I just bought Charlie some new tyres? But they're cheap tyres. Well, I say cheap. I mean, I remember the days when you could buy a Vittorio Rubino. I used to race on them as a junior. You can get them for like $9.99. So I bought some Hutchinson, I can't remember what they're called. Oh, they're on the floor there. Oh, Merlin Cycles, great place to buy things for sure. I'm sure they bought everything from Wiggle and now they're just selling it for nothing. Hey Eric, you love that emoji, don't you? A guest appearance, Daniel. Ed Laverack guest appearance for UAE Team Emirates for one day as a mechanic. No, actually, I'm a terrible mechanic. Taddy does not want me as his mechanic. Although it'd be awesome if we get... Imagine if you got to ride in a team car and you handed up Taddy a gel that you licked as well. That would be a claim to fame. Yeah, just a little bit spiky, Mikey. Just a little. Am I feeling... Well, the thing is, your heart rate might well be suppressed if you're tired, which I am. But also the efforts aren't really long either, so there's going to be a lag with your heart rate going up. Saying that, if I was crisply fresh, my heart rate would be super responsive and it would go through the roof straight away, right? So, yeah, my heart rate's low. As you saw in the races last night, my heart rate's low. So, yeah. Attacking! There's a breakaway currently, which is got a good gap. Crispy fresh, like that new bedding feeling. I've just put new bedding on. Yeah, Gareth, he's doing okay. But, yeah, he's doing okay. He's just taking some time. Yeah. No worries, Phil. Have a good one. Whew. Do you want like F1? I hope Niels isn't watching. A little bit. I like it a little bit. I mean, I used to be well into it when I was like a young teenager, but not so much now. I mean, I might dip in and out, but I wouldn't watch it. I might watch a highlight, but I wouldn't watch it. I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't watch cycling. I mean, I don't like sprint stages, you know, and even mountain stages sometimes, so I'm not the best person to ask. Is that Ian attacking? I think it is. Good place to go. Sat up a little bit, Ian. It's sat up a little bit. Hope the Frenchman can get across to you. I say the gap is moving in the right direction. So far, he's lasted longer than you, Michael. Six seconds. I know this is probably not the best bit now because we're going downhill slightly, but I don't know if I can try and block the front, but is it just too fast though? Is it like this? The group is still quite big, of course, but solo ride off the front of this group now, which does help a little bit. Not pulling us anymore unless someone jumps, which they have. Ten seconds now, Ian. Oof. Come on. The chat will build you on attacking from the halfway mark. Like today. Okay, I thought that might be the case, Jesse, thank you. I think we just follow things now, isn't it? And maybe we get dragged across. Unless the gap is so big that we can attack on the last lap, but We'll see. Oh, that was a stat race this morning then. Glad I missed it. Me and Ian are keeping up the tradition. Could be a good chance for the gap to go even more here. "15 seconds now. Go on, Ian, you got about half an hour of effort left." Pay attention here through the finish. Okay, last 2 laps. 10 seconds to that group now. Came down by 5 seconds. Looks like that attack's coming back. Ah. That was quality, that was. Yeah, there's no harm in trying, though, is there? I mean, just for the training, I suppose. I mean, I think if we have a small group of 4 or 5, then yes. But like there now, nobody committed. Even though they know that they're strong enough to, you know, if 5 of us were to hit it, then, you know, we would get a gap. Yeah, and we know if it comes to a sprint, then I'm not really in a position to. like I say, I don't mind where I come in this. That's why I pull there for as long as I can, because if it doesn't split, then, you know, we're all just going to ride and look at each other. So I needed it to split like that so that we could maybe ride, but even now, we're not really riding. Like, we know now that we're the strongest. So, you know, if we can't ride, that's calmer, isn't it? Even when I'm not there, they still will pull. Ha! Ha! Oh, my legs. Ha! 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 Oh, my legs. Ha! Serves you right, Ed. Don't use my keyboard. Get rid of that keyboard, I don't want to touch it. Get rid of it. Oh, my legs are going to be in bits here now. I just need to get over it, Yeah, thanks for not pulling there. Although I was half expecting them to try and pull. And then they would definitely get rid of me. Oh, there we go, that's my job done. They can do what they want now. Okay, so if we don't, well, yeah. There we are. Oh. Just don't let him slip off the front again. Unbelievable. Tough race. So, I'm now cooked. But the SISU team didn't win. 3 of them in the top 7. I'll take that. I did think I was going to win it for a second. Oh, it's all good fun and games. It's very good racing. Oh, very good racing. Such a hard race when it's tactical like that, and there is 3 riders there. Hats off to them. Hats off to everybody in that front group, because it really started to be a little bit, not negative, negative's the wrong word. At the time when you're in the race, you don't enjoy it. You know, you get a little bit frustrated, but then because there are, 3 of them in the front group, and there's other riders, of course, who are looking to get their best place, their best finishing place. You can't blame them. That's how they ride. That's how they're supposed to ride. But just like Ian Stannard, do you remember that? When Quickstep had 3 riders against Ian Stannard. It's just one of those things where you're like, you kind of hope that none of them will win because they have got strength in numbers. And I'm just happy that none of them did win. Oh. I don't mean that in a negative way. I just mean that in a, in a competitive way. It's like, they outnumbered us, and it was going to be so hard because of the makeup of the group. It's just a bit satisfying when it comes off that way. So, yeah, great racing. Nothing against the racing. Great racing. Oh my word. Oh, blimey. Oh. 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 Let's have a look at the graph, I think. Oh. Yeah, that's right, William. Yeah. That happens a lot, when the team, there's a team with like overwhelming majority numbers, and then there's the other guys in the group as well. And as some of you were saying, I might have had a target on my back, which, yeah, it is what it is. But I don't think, I think everybody in that group wanted to beat the team with the majority of riders, right? That made up that group. And you tend to form an alliance in a way, but also you have to remember that, maybe, riders also don't want to work with you, because they don't want to, tow you away, and that's fair enough. It's not often I type in the chat, but when that was the second time where I forced a split, and I was like, the thing is, if this split goes on force, as in, I didn't actually attack per se, it was more just dragging it and then hoping the elastic would snap. It's like you have to make the elastic snap enough that people will want to then commit to it. If it just snaps and it's only a couple of seconds gap, then there's still that little bit of uncertainty. So I wanted to go deep enough, but that was the second time, like I couldn't really afford to do it again and pull the group. If I was going to go again like I did later, I wanted it, that would have been one of my last efforts, but I only wanted to do it twice because of the, effectively, although you're not dragging people along, you are giving them a free ride, so to speak, in a little way, in a little sense. You're not quite giving them a free ride, of course, but it's, it is what it is. So let's have a look at this power distribution. Oh my word. Wow, I hit 830 watts, but that wasn't in the sprint. 106 TSS. So we hit, roughly roughly nearly 800 for 10 seconds. So yeah, low heart rate, but don't forget it's a low heart rate because of fatigue. Like, yeah, only getting up to 178. But yeah, we'll adapt. We'll rest up. We'll adapt. Next 2 weeks now are going to be, keep some intensity in there, but reduce the volume. Well, it depends how I feel actually, but generally we'll reduce the load at least over the next 2 weeks before a trip to Mallorca, and then I can have some fun out there. Hopefully. So how many hours this week? It's probably going to be around 10 to 13 hours this week, I'd imagine. Last couple of weeks have been around about 17. So next event, well, when we head out to Mallorca, doing the Kill the Hill, which is like a hill climb up the highest road in Mallorca. I'm gonna have another go at Sacalobra, and yeah, we're gonna do some riding with Charlie. So all the good things, hopefully. So I'm looking forward to it. And all of this is just making that trip easier, right? Like I always feel like, when you go away with your bike, you want to do the preparation beforehand, don't you? You don't want to be going on a trip and feeling like you have to treat that as training. You want to go out there and be able to, like, ride hard when you want to ride hard and ride easy when you want to ride easy. And hopefully, the majority of it will be long days on the bike, cafe stops, and a couple of hard efforts up some climbs. So yeah. Have I ever thought of doing altitude prep? I mean, it's something I've looked into, to be honest. I looked into it when I was racing professionally, and to be honest, the cost of doing something like that, and obviously being away from home and the routine and everything. But there's also, like, not a lot of the guys do a lot of altitude training because obviously a lot of their races are at altitude and things. But also part of it is so that they can get away from distractions. I don't really need that. If anything, I believe that, like, heat training has more of a important part to play in what I do as opposed to altitude prep. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that. It's a pretty interesting aspect, and heat training is something that you can generally do. I'm not advocating it, because when you do a DIY heat session, it can be quite dangerous, of course, because well, for obvious reasons. But it's just it's something that probably affects me more than altitude does, and I don't really do many events where I'm going up to altitude, or at least high enough that things would affect me. You're talking over 1,500 meters generally, so there's not many events where I'd go over 1,500 meters. There are, but yeah, it's well, Pygmeo. So there's another road at the top of that. It's up to the observation place at the top. So yeah. Yeah. All right, cool. I gotta jump. Charlie's just got home, and I haven't seen her for like a couple of days. So thanks for tuning in, folks. I will see you soon for a video tomorrow and my big ride from the weekend. I did take the camera for that, so I will see you then. Cheers, guys.